I had these clips just cooking for a while, and I never decided to record this Durant video. But I figured out, I figured while everyone's talking about Wemby, it would be really, really great to do some, other random player. But Kevin Durant is like one of the best prospects I've ever seen. He's like the third or fourth best prospect of the 2000s for me. Like, he is truly like the best shooting prospect ever, or at least he's up there. Durant is just lethal at getting off his own shot with that height. As everybody knows, he's done, for his entire NBA career, or defenses. Just had no idea. And him being like listed at 6'9" in college, just like was, even in hindsight, was like obviously insane. He had like the well beyond NBA range at that point already for someone who was like pushing 7 feet. And just like the kind of like screw you. Like, I feel like these threes are like the most like alpha threes. Like, he's just jabbing in his face. He's like, what you gonna do? There's nothing you can do about it. And he just pulls that. I like prospects who do that. So Durant was also just such a smart off-ball shooter as well. The versatility and volume, as I've talked about plenty on this channel, is really, really sick. Really, really all-time for a guy of his size, along with the efficiency too, which we'll get to. Like, he was really smart relocating. Like, this is kind of a broken play. He notices where the help is going this way and where the open space is going to be this way. So Durant backs out and he gets a clutch three because he's thinking, and because he's such a smart off-ball mover, which is a good thing. We want those. Durant is... They didn't really like run him off screens for threes. I mean, they never really did that in the NBA either. But they also like that just like wasn't really part of the game back then in like 2007. But Durant was obviously like insane on these like mid cross screens, where like he's uncontestable anyway, but like with an inch of space, it like becomes just magnified to where he was pretty much unstoppable on these as well. Durant was, I'm gonna go to the shooting stats first. Like, for whatever listed 6'9", this 3-point volume, 6 threes a game, 200 total threes, 40%, 81 free throw, for a guy at six, very, he was 6'10", he was 6'10" up, with that scoring volume is obviously insane. But when you compare it to other guys, there are very few players who have hit that 3-point volume. I had to lower the height filter down quite a bit. And even if we go like all the way back up to that, generous 6'9", where there are 3 guys, and we lower the 3-point threshold a little bit, it is again just like Jabari Smith, who was a very good shooting prospect, but not Kevin Durant, as we'll get into, and Brandon Ingram, who is an amazing prospect. But yeah, point being, the shooting statistical profile for Durant, his size was unmatched, one of the best ever for sure. And the way that Durant got his shots in like every single way was incredible. And he was already really good at using his handle to get his shots off. His handle was, kind of problematic, as we'll get to. But his handle was best when he was creating for his shots, like this beautiful V-cell behind the back for a wide open pull-up jumper, and was able to get downhill and make some passes a little bit, where Durant's able to kind of get downhill. This is kind of an easy read decision. It's like, is this help here or is it not? And he throws it before the help, which was really, really nice. And Durant is again going to show off some handling and some touch as well. The handling coordination is okay at this point. It's pretty high and kind of loose, but the fluidity and the movement skill in the handling is obvious, and the touch is just wild. It's his touch was so unreal. Obviously a hard thing to totally define. There were some driving angle stuff where he just didn't have the best instincts, especially with his passing too, where he has open guys in the perimeter, but he's only looking shot and he's not really reading his help. Honestly, at this point he didn't really have to. So I get why this was the default sometimes. There was almost no situations where he really had to read and manipulate help, because it just didn't really matter, which is quite a feat in itself, at least I would say. So Durant had some interesting handling flashes as we got into. Obviously, like it's developed into more than a good enough handler for his role and as primary perimeter creator in his career. There were some flashes again. Like look how low he gets. This is a 6'10", 6'11" kid like with his torso parallel to the ground. That is so much leverage generated, so much speed, so much power. And obviously he isn't able to like get all the way to the rim here, and I think he ends up missing. But like that space creation initially is really impressive. And obviously he could like pull for a jumper here, and he probably scores. But I do like him being aggressive as a prospect, and going in for drives. That's certainly something that would be good. Durant again. You see him miss another pass, and we show off the handle. Again, like a pass he probably could have hit, or at least one of these. Or there's everyone open. Actually, that's a little overwhelming. I get it, Durant. So I'll get back on track. He is able to use that handle to navigate these kind of defenses, even if he's not really reading the help when they show two in the pick and roll. He's able to use his handle to cross back over into open space, and even though he doesn't end up finishing that shot, he gets like the offensive rebound foul. He was so good at using his handles like get little openings, which was all Durant really needed at this point, because he could just take those little openings and run with them. Again, like sometimes would just be very linear with his handle and run into guys, but that's kind of par for the course for most guys these size at this age, which there are very, very few. But the thing that made Durant like really special even more was like that his touch was just like in the mid range, his intermediate scoring, like unbelievably versatile. This is like a center post fade, those high unguardable shots that most perimeter players don't have in their arsenal, but Kevin Durant did. The stop pull-ups, look how much space he's able to generate with this decel. Not that it really matters because he's Durant, but he was really good at creating those shot angles for him, and it didn't really matter what angle he was at, even if his footwork is weird here. Like he doesn't get all the way around, he's kind of stuck, and it's not the most like, it's kind of an awkward angle, and Durant cashes it because his touch is just that special. He obviously was able to use that spin move to kind of get past his defenders as well. And he would shake you out of your shoes once in a while too. And Durant was just so lethal on the ball, such a weapon on the ball, really at this level, and in the future impossible to guard. When you got him like moving off the ball, and because his off-ball shooting was a huge threat, and he was a smart off-ball player, as we've said, it was impossible. Like there's no way you're stopping that on a closeout attack. That is so much space. That is a wide open jumper for Kevin Durant. Always has been, always will be. So yeah, he was incredible. Like I don't know if I would have predicted Durant to become like, maybe like a top like 30 player of all time. I don't think so. Top 20 maybe. I don't know. But like I certainly would have predicted him to be very good because he is one of the best prospects I've ever seen. His shooting, the shooting, coordination, versatile interior scoring. And I didn't show any defensive clips, but his defense was okay. Like he was just like large and moved and had some instincts. It was all right. It wasn't special, but yeah, that offensive package is all time great from a prospect. And this could be a good show of why you just shouldn't comp prospects to Kevin Durant. I thought about making this like a here's a Kevin Durant clip and just an example of why X bad Durant comp was wrong. I might do that. I might do a video on that if I'm really shameless and wanted to sell into the bad comps. But yeah, go Durant, I guess.